Some of these fines are getting so ridiculous this year. You don't need a giant coffee bong that is like 6 feet tall, that looks like a science experiment, to have a coffee party with your friends. Like, don't spend your money on this garbage. You don't need all this inflatable decorations that's just gonna blow all over. I mean, like, think about what you're purchasing. Be intentional about it. Like, there is so much junk and so many things that people say you need, like covers for your beer cans to make it look like you're not drinking beer but you're drinking soda instead. Like, just stop with this ridiculous garbage. I actually heard some girls the other day talking about how they can't stand content creators because they think they are finding like the latest and greatest items and that they're so awesome, and they're always talking like this, and they're always like, oh my gosh, you have to find this, it's so great, and oh my gosh, this is exactly what I do, and you have to run to the store. And they were actually making the sound in their voice like that, and I'm like, are they wrong? Because even though I'm creating content and I'm a designer, I kind of feel the exact same way, where it's definitely turned into like a QVC for junk, for like ridiculous things that you don't need. And every day it's like, oh, the latest and greatest, and oh my gosh, you have to buy this, and oh my gosh, and this is the best thing ever, and I just went to the store, and oh my gosh, I'm in heaven at Target and at Walmart and all these great finds, and you're like freaking out over it. This is the problem, where it's so much, it's like every single day you have to have this, and every single day you have to have that, and it's like, well, what did you just do with all the stuff that you had yesterday or the day before or like the last week, or all of that amazing stuff that was so great? Do you have a place to store it? Are you really keeping all of that? Because in my eyes, that's just a bunch of junk and clutter, and then you have to store it, and you have to find a place for it, and you need batteries for everything, and like these giant fire pits that people have all over their house, like 10 fire pits with these flames that are like 5 feet tall. Do you want to burn your house down? It's gotten so unrealistic and like so non-intentional, and so like, if you were just in a house with a few things, what would you look at to be like, this is comfortable, functional, and beautiful? And then everything else that's just like, ridiculous with no purpose, remove. Remember, everybody's pushing something on someone. Most of the time it's not like a genuine find, like, hey, I really like this and I'm sharing this item because it makes my home look beautiful and I think it's a great find for you. I would say 90% of the time they are like, they're almost like doing it without even thinking. It's not even something that's going to benefit you or that's going to make your life better. They're just like, oh, here's a new item, oh, here's this, you need this, you need this. And what can happen is it makes you feel so pressured to be like, I need to have all of this stuff. And they're like gadgets. They're like silly little gadgets and things that is just junk. Like, it's, most of it is just junk. You don't need it. And when you simplify your life, you don't need all that stuff, because you're thinking in terms of simplicity and being really intentional with what you have in your space and what you're storing and using your storage space. So I'm just saying this, I'm obviously promoting products this year. I'm promoting things that I think are beautiful and that are really good finds that I have purchased or that I own or that I would buy, but not in terms of just, all this random garbage. So that's my rant for the day. While I'm at it, this whole finger tapping thing is like the most annoying thing. Nobody taps boxes. Nobody taps things when they're handing you something. It's supposed to be like this ASMR, like, oh, I'm tapping this box. But it's, like, just stop. Nobody cares anymore about that. And I think that's what when I was overhearing these girls talking, they're like, these content creators, they just think they're like the shit. They think they're so cool, that everything they have is amazing, that they're like celebrities because they have all these followers and stuff like that. And they're so cocky and prideful and arrogant, and like, they can't stand them. And, man, I was just like, gosh, I hope they're not talking about me as I'm walking by, because I feel the exact same way, and I never want to turn into like a sellout. I don't want to ever be a sellout. Yeah, there's going to be things that I find at certain stores. Like, I'm not against Target or Amazon. If I find something that's great, and I shop on Amazon, if there's things that I need, I'm going to get it there. Obviously, it's convenient. And if I find something that I really love at Target, and I'm like, hey, I found this gem, I really love it. But what I'm talking about is the overly saturated with the meaningless stuff, and the stuff that's like always pushed that you need. And it is getting to the point, especially around the holidays, everybody's shopping, but I urge you to be intentional. Be intentional about where you shop, how you shop, what you buy, what you're going to use, and luckily you can return whatever that, doesn't work for you. But when you're feeling pressured and pressured and pressured to get this and get this and get this, I think that's what really bothers me, because I spent many years going down that hole where I would get on and be like, oh my gosh, I need this, I need this, I need this. If it's not going to help your health, help your body, help your mind, elevate your life, elevate your style, or really bless your kids, or it's, maybe it's something that your kids really want and they love it and it just happens to be a popular toy, like whatever, that's totally normal, fine. What I'm talking about is all of the things that you really, people are making you feel like you can't live without. Like you can't live if you don't have this thing, or you're not cool or good enough if you don't have this specific item, and you need to run to the store now because it's the best thing ever. What happens is you think that you're saving money, but you're actually spending money. Like you're blowing more money than you would if you actually paused and said, no, I'm going to wait and hold off and buy what I really love, instead of just rushing and buying this and buying that because somebody's pressuring me to do it. So you'll save more if you just shop simple and shop intentional, instead of just buying everything that everybody's trying to sell you all the time.